Well, today I have a whole bunch of things from our friends at Hunkdory, including some of these absolutely darling pocket pegs. There are 5 of them. One of them has sentiments. Also these frames to go with them. But, you know, enough about that right now. Let me just give you an idea. So here's one that Heidi has done, and we've got even more. So won't you please come play with us? Well, before I get into Heidi's projects, let me just tell you a little bit about what this is. So on the pocket pads, there are 5, as you can tell. So we have Feline Fabulous. Well, that can't be wrong. We'll get in even closer so you can see the front of that. Now, in each of these, there are 64 sheets. There are 7, excuse me, it's an A7 design. So it is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. So think about it as like 3 by 5. It's pretty close. And there are, as I said, 64 sheets. There are 16 designs, and you get 4 of each. So this is the feline. We're going to start with that, and then to get equal time, we're going to do dog days. And before I get into the project, I'll show you all of the pieces that are in here, all the sheets. Then we're going to go into these sketchbook florals. They look pretty, which has also been combined with the splendid sentiments. Now, there are 344 sentiments in here, and of course you can use them with everything. And then finally, we have Enchanting Parlor, which is just very luscious looking. Okay, and I will show you, as I said, before each of these, I'll show you what they are, and I'll also show you how to put together the frames. So I'm going to scoot these around, and here we go. And we will get started with the one that I showed you in the beginning. So this is the feline favorites, I think. And this is the frame. Now you can do the frame or not do the frame. So let me start with what she has done inside. And as I promised you, I'm going to show you the designs that are in there. And again, you get multiples of each. So most of them are vertical, which is going to work well with that frame. And just absolutely charming. So you can see they are single-sided. And you can elect, as Heidi has done, to do some layering. Whoops, okay. Most of them are vertical. Oh, isn't that cute? And so a lot of kitties in a lot of places, as they tend to do. And I thought that was just absolutely darling. And then we do have some horizontal ones. So we've got that pair and that little sweetie, and this one, and then the one that I showed you as we went through. Okay, so what Heidi did is, in creating this base, so this little guy is going to fit right in that frame, should you elect to use the frame. So that goes in, and then she did some layering. Now I think you should be able to see it, but so she's got the whole piece, so that's what it looks like. And then she cut out everything that is not the background and foam taped that on top of the matching art, is how we talk about it. Then she did the kitty, just the kitty, and that again was foam taped. And then she did just the face, and the paws are still from the other piece. So there's the base layer, the hammock and everything, and then the kitty itself, and then the face. So all of those layers, and they're just foam taped. And so that's how she did it, and that's how you can do it too. Or you can just elect just to use the piece all by itself. No rules here. You can do whatever you want. Now let's talk about this frame. Now in that package, there are 16 frames, as you can see, and they are designed to go with the pocket pads. And they are all in different colors too. So you can see that whole variety right there. And let me just show you how you go about putting it together. And I did take it apart, but let me kind of put it back together too, to show you how it comes. As you can kind of see, there are greetings on here, so you have a chance to use those if you want to. There's also an easel frame, so I'm going to put that in. And this is the cutout or the frame itself. Okay, so you're just going to pop that out. This base is not foiled, but everything else is. So I'm just going to scoot that to the side, and I have extra sticky tape here because that just seems to really hold it in place nicely. So what you'll do is lay it out flat as it comes, and then put the extra sticky tape on the outside of the panels, okay? Now these are scored, and I've already attached this one, so let me just walk you through how to fold them. So you're going to go inside and fold that in. We would call that a mountain fold. And then the next score, so there's 3 scores, you're going to also fold in a mountain fold. And then the next one you're going to fold in a mountain fold. But the one at the end that has the extra sticky tape, that is going to be in a valley fold. So you can see that. Now this is adorable scoreboard, which is what they have used to print on. Very, very sturdy, so it's going to work nicely. Now you'll want to do the short ends first, and you can see they kind of have a divot in them, and that is because it will allow these side pieces just to slip right in. So as you can see, I've already attached one, so I'm just going to show the demonstration on this end. And you can see that I have, this is attached to the base, and you've got this folded and folded and folded, okay? And you're going to do the same thing here. Now the tricky part is the extra sticky tape. So I'm going to remove the liner and get that out of the way, which is so much easier when I have fingernails, which I normally have, but I don't know what's going on. This weather hasn't been horribly cold here, but it's done its number on my hands. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in and all the way, and you see that's going to go right next to the frame, that little piece. So this edge is going to tuck right in there. And I'm going to hold that down, and then this will stand up and tuck right in there. So there you go. See how that does a mitered corner, which is lovely, and it just works very, very nicely. Now the part that I failed to think about is this piece is not attached, and it should be. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back up, which is not a great idea to do on extra sticky tape, but I'm going to go ahead and do this edge. So same thing, I'm going to remove the liner, and I'm going to do that. Okay, pull that off. Okay, be a problem. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to fold that and make sure that that is making the frame you can see. Then I will attach both ends at the same time. So you just bring that in and hold that and bring that in, and there we go. There, it's going to sit right there. And I'll push the tape down. There we go. And that is going to do a nice job. Now, if you want to use another glue, that's fine. You don't have to use the extra sticky tape. I just like it because it's going to stay nice and secure. Now, when you get all of those areas done, there is another piece out of this sheet, which is the frame. And you probably noticed that there was a frame on top of this. Well, you're just going to attach that, and I'm just going to set it there just to show you. So that's going to go on top, and you can apply that with whatever glue you like or the extra sticky. Now, there are also, as I said, all of these foiled areas, and Heidi used this one, which is wishing you a truly wonderful day, and this is attached along the top piece. I suppose it could go along the side if you wanted to use a horizontal. And now Heidi has hers kind of sticking up. You can do that if you want to. It just depends on what art you want to use. If you don't mind covering up part of it, or if you want to kind of raise them up a little bit. Now these are really, and I'm pressing on this little puppy, they're very sturdy. Not sure if you would want to trust it going to an envelope, but you could just put paper or some bubble wrap on top of it. I think it would go through. It would be some extra postage, but you know, it's worth it. You can also add, now she's put with love. There's also best wishes, handmade especially for you, happy birthday with love, just for you. So all of those are there. And then finally, there is this piece, which is a stand. Now, of course, it's flat, and what it's going to do, there is a score line on it, and what happens is that you're going to want to attach it so that the narrow part is going to be against your card, and the rest of it is going to be loose, and then this little divot here, this little part, can slip down to hold that in place. So let me see, yes, she's done it here. So this can go sideways, and then this can slip down, and it will hold that up so that it can stand, and you can really see how that works there. Okay, so that works nicely, and she has put the handmade especially for you on the back. That's fine, that's where you could sign your name. And she did use the bow maker, because this is Heidi and she just loves this, and I know hundreds of you have joined her in that liking. And the bow that she made is that ivory bow, and it's out of our ivory collection of ribbons. So she has used the this crepe ribbon. There's also some sheer ribbons, all kinds of gingham and so forth. So all of that. So I won't do the frame again. I'll just leave that for you. But I wanted to make sure that you had that information. And I do believe that there will be instructions on the inside, but still, it's always nice to kind of see it live and in person. Okay, now we've done the kittens. Let's go to the puppies. And as I said, this is out of Dog Days. Now the ones, or the two, that Heidi has used are on here. So let me show you. So there is the puppy on the front. So she's put these obviously on a card. This is our 5 by 6.5 inch card. And so we have him on the front, and that's what he looks like before he has things done to him. And on the inside, she has used this little guy, that little pug. Okay, so it's nice to know that you have many options, and that's what we like. Okay, so in the Dog Days, here we go. We've got lots of kinds of puppies. Same thing, most of them are the vertical, but there are going to be a few that are horizontal. So very cute, doing lots of different things. We used to have a beagle. And then here's our horizontal ones. Okay. So what Heidi did, and I think it was a really smart idea, is that in doing this on the card, she did take from the red frame sheet. So that's where she got this frame and all of these foiled accents. But to really contrast that, she elected to use the Simply Stripes collection. This is a 6 by 6. And so actually, this is really an easy way to show you. On one side, it has the color more prominent, and on the other side, it has white with the color. So in this case, black. And that's what it has through the whole set of 24 sheets and all of those colors. And so because this is only 6 by 6 and our card is 6.5, she elected to mat this on a color that's going to work. And she went into the solids because our Simply Stripes doesn't have a solid to match. And she went with Christmas Past. Now we have many of the reds, so Christmas Past is just one of the great options. And she did mat that. First she would have to, she can take the 6 inches, but she had to trim it down. The measurements are down below. You will see the cards. Click on them and you will get the instructions and all the measurements, okay? So you can see that she matted it with a very narrow red mat. That worked out nicely, and then glued it to the front of her card. And obviously the card has the fold at the top. Now the puppy is going to get glued to the back of the frame. And let me bring in that other frame just so you can see how that works. So here is same size of frame, and you can see that it will just go over that piece. So it just has a little bit hanging over, so you can attach it, and you can see why red was just a very good option in this case. So she has attached that, and then she glued that to the front of her card. And she did place it at an angle, and you want to make sure not to do that at too strong an angle, because then it won't fit in the cards or in the envelope. So that's just something to note. Now, the wishing you a truly wonderful day, that's foam taped. And then these two are also foam taped. So happy birthday, just for you. And then she went back to the bow maker, and she used this time the 1/8 inch ribbon. Very, very versatile and nice to put in places like this. Oh, I forgot one. Best Wishes has been foam taped right inside his little dish. Okay, so we've got 3 of them, actually 4 of the pieces used, and there are 6 of them. So that's done a nice job. Now you will still have the frame, of course. Now on the inside, she went with the blue. So the blue, this is the blue, blue on blue. So on the back side, it would be blue and white. In this case, as you can see, this guy is been trimmed off. So she did go in and cannibalize the black frame set and glued him in place, and then trimmed off, looks like about a 1/2 inch at the bottom, to glue him to make room for a greeting. The happy birthday is right here, again, out of the black set. The black bow worked nicely. The with love came out of our black greetings collection. Now there's 3 sheets in here. I pulled off the backing just so that you could see some of them. And obviously there's the with love. And you can see that you get hearts, you get some flowers. So if you want to add like a little heart right next to there, that you can certainly do that, just lift it off. So that works very nicely, okay, especially if you've got someone who's got those particular puppies. Now we're going to go to a different frame, and this is using our florals and our sentiments. So let me first walk you through the florals, even before I show you the project. And, okay, so here is one. These have a very pastel tone. Just lovely. And now you can see how you could do the 3D by cutting out parts and foam taping them. Heidi didn't do that this time, but that's certainly an option. And because you get 4 of each one, you have, you know, lots of options. Just very, very pretty. I guess they're all vertical. Yeah, okay. So all of those, and there's 2 more. And also, this is the sentiments. Now, the sentiments are interesting because they go horizontally mostly. So this is, I think this is the masculine one. Obviously, it's in blue. So son, dad, uncle, grandson, grandpa, husband, brother. And this is time to celebrate, best wishes. So you can see there's narrow ones, wider ones, just lots. There are 344. This is make a wish, happy birthday. This is to babies. This is to just Mother's Day, Father's Day, well done. Happy anniversary for your retirement. Just really trying to hit everything. So these are all the girls. So sister, mom, daughter, granddaughter, aunt, and these have some longer phrases, as you can see. And then you've got numbers so that you can add if it's a certain birthday or so forth. So you've got all of those. Okay, now again, 4 sheets of each. Now let me show you her project. There it is. And in this case, she has kind of collaged this area in the back. So, and she did put it in a frame, but let's start with this piece. And the two sheets that she used are these two. And she did do a larger piece of cardstock to attach them to. This is 4 by 5. And so these are the two sheets that she used. So I'm just going to set them there. And let's see, I guess I'll set them there. Okay, there we go. Now, what she did is interesting. So she's made kind of a collage look. So the reason why you want to have a larger piece is so that you have something to attach it to, because what's going to happen is that when I place this, and can you see the pink flower there? And you can see the blue flower there. So she's taken this piece and placed it and attached it like so. Okay. Then she took this one and placed it so you can see, and it's tricky to do this both in my hands, but you see the gold flower. Let's see, you can see the tulip, the red tulip right there. So she has placed this, I would say, about right here. Now, you have extra copies of these, and you've got some hanging out. So she took, like this tulip is this tulip, so another piece of that. And down here, there's just another little area, so you could trim off a piece and fill that in. Then she's going to cut this down to be the 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, okay? Then she used, these are the silver straight line dazzles, and you can see there's very narrow, and these, gosh, that's about a 1/16 of an inch, and that is about a 1/4 of an inch. So she used the narrow ones, and she just placed them along the cut areas of where she wanted to have her collage. Then she could have stopped there, right? But she went into the sentiments, and this is the sheet that she used. These are horizontal, and so she's trimmed these out. So this birthday wishes, that was there. It didn't follow the lines because that's where the dazzles are. So she made what she calls kind of a fan shape. So she put that one across there, and then she put this cream one, which is especially for you. That's kind of going out that way. Then the purple one that says special, someone special, she placed there. And just let them create those straight lines again, kind of echoing what the dazzles did. Then where they all meet, she did the happy birthday in blue. So she got all of that ready. Once again, she used the bow maker with the 1/8 inch ribbon that I just showed you a second ago. Lots of colors in there, and did a pink bow and dotted it in place. And then she made her blue frame. Now you'll notice that she just has the small pieces on the corners, and then that one. And her, oops, take that off. And then her stand is in the back. And she also used the especially made for you piece right there. So that is this one. So you have options, and I like options. I think you do too. Okay, so that is our third option, and we have one more. Wonder what the woman's done now. Okay, in this, it's going to be the Enchanting Parlor. I was going to say everlasting, but it's Enchanting. And let me show you what's inside that she did not use. So again, very rich looking, a lot of purples. And you can see butterflies, sconces. There we go, candelabra. Very kind of vintage looking. And some musical instruments, 3 of them. Very pretty, aren't they? Okay, but that's not what she used. Let me show you what she used. Well, first of all, I want to show you the project. Now this has some, whoops, now we've got a fuzzy image. Okay, we need to get closer. So if everything will cooperate with us. Okay, this has an acetate on the front, and this is the Starfall acetate. I think that's what it's called. let me see, it's right here. It is, yes, Starfall Acetate. And Hunkdory brought this out last Christmas, but I think it's really nice to use it here. So she has done something very interesting with this card, and you can see that she did, let me show you the sheet that she used, that one, so a different butterfly. But she wanted to give it a backing, and she wanted to have these stars on top of it and create a frame on it. So she didn't use the frame that came in that package. She made her own frame with the card, and I haven't seen this done before. So she pulled out, now the area that has been removed, okay, so the card is 5 by 6.5. So she removed an area that's 4 inches by 5.5. Let me open this up so you can really see it. Okay, so 4 by 5.5. Okay, so she's left an inch on, you can see kind of that L. So she removed that area, and then she cut the acetate and attached it to what was left, that L shape on her card. Then she wanted to use some papers with this. So she elected to go with the Whispering Florals 6 by 6, and of course the matching Whispering Florals that's in the solid. Okay, so she placed the solid on the outside. Now again, first of all, she removed that area, and then she attached this to the front of the card and then covered it up with this Whispering Floral solid. Okay, now remember I told you on the greetings of the sentiments that there were some that were longer, and this is I send you a wish, and it is just to say that I think you're amazing in every way. Well, what a wonderful thing to receive. Okay, so she did mat it, and this is on the metallic gold, and so that's going to give you a shine, which we always like. Now, I'm not going to go into these right now. I want to get into the inside, okay? So you can see that she covered the inside of the card with a darker shade of this kind of pinky lavender. And then she placed this sheet, well, actually, she'd have to trim it down. So this is, again, out of the Whispering Florals. And she placed it here and trimmed it to fit, okay? Very pretty. And that just really creates a lovely background for that sheet that's going to go on the inside, which I have lost, but yeah, it's this one. So you can see it right there. Very pretty. And I can see, and you can kind of see how she tucked that right in that area. And of course, this got trimmed. So there it is. But she wanted to add more to it, and I can certainly see why. So she went to the cutting die that matches Whispering Florals, and you can see that this just has lots of florals. I have these wonderful sprays. So going back to the front now, so you can die cut that out of the Whispering Florals solid. So there's that spray, and there's an additional one. And then you can tip the ends with ink pad. She did cut some others to go on the right-hand side, as you can see, and there's a little sprig to go down there. And then she did the flowers on top. So the Whispering Florals kind of has these trumpet flowers, and you can see that they were done. And they're just glued and foam taped. Most of them are foam taped in place, so going right along that edge. So that L just really gets beautifully decorated. On the inside, like I said, she's done the same thing. The Happy Mother's Day, she matted on the metallic. And to make this a little bit larger, she matted this on an even darker shade. So we've got a light, a medium, and a dark shade out of the Whispering Florals. And then you can see that vine going up and the flowers. And this is foam taped, and again, those are foam taped too. So you have a very different look that you can do with these pocket pads. So, and I appreciate that. There's just many, many options there, and that's great. So kind of recapping for you, we have 16 of the pocket pad box frames. And then we also have all of these beautiful pocket pads that I have spread all over my desk. Okay, we have our fabulous felines. We have our dog days. Let's see, we have our floral and our sentiments and the enchanting, oh, I'm going to put that there, the enchanting parlor, so all of those. Now, obviously, as always, we have a money saver over on the right-hand side of your screen where we have put them all together. And gosh, I could even count 64 times 5. You've got over 300 pieces. You've got 16 boxes. And you can save the boxes to use on later pocket pads too, because Hunkdory, that's a line that they have, and they're always coming out with wonderful things in that line too. Or you can cut down some other artwork to go inside those frames, so they'll be useful. Okay, so all of that is for you, and as I said before, the instructions are down below, so that will also help. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we would love it if you would like us there. Come on over to paperwishes.com. We hope you would subscribe to get our emails and take a look at the products. Hunkdory is a company that we carry lots of their products because they are so prolific and they carry so many, they make so many different things that just makes it great. And also we have a webisode just like this every day but Friday. Well, actually, some Fridays we have them too. So we have lots to share with you. Whenever we bring in a product, we do a webisode about it just to give you even more ideas. So that's our gift to you. And I think it helps. It's always nice to get some ideas. Okay, I do want to thank Heidi for doing a wonderful job and a very creative job for us. We've got lots of ideas. I'm going to remember that L-shaped front. But most of all, I want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. Okay, hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.